Kamala Harris introduces herself with pronouns. When did she start doing that? Well, 12 seconds ago. She's 54 years old. She spent 54 years of her life saying, "Hi, I'm Kamala." And now suddenly she's got a whole speech about her pronouns to accompany her introduction. And this is a theme that came up again and again. These candidates are mostly in their 50s, 60s. Bernie Sanders is of course 107, Buttigieg is 14, but most of them are in their 50s and 60s. And so they went through their whole adult lives up until approximately yesterday, believing that men are men, women are women, believing that men have penises, women have vaginas, believing that you can't change your sex by mutilating your genitals. For their whole lives, they believe that. Even the most radical left among them. You're not going to find clips of Elizabeth Warren 20 years ago or 30 years ago suggesting that actually women can have penises. You're not going to find that. For their whole lives, they, just like everybody else in the history of humankind, has believed in the basics of human biology. And then suddenly, they've abandoned biology and adopted this gender theory superstition. But they can't explain why. They can't explain what prompted them to decide overnight that, oh no, actually men can have vaginas, right? Here's a great example of this dynamic. Watch this.
So,
Senator, quick follow. Speak to your evolution on this. In the 2012 campaign for Senate, you criticized a judge's ruling that granted transition-related surgery to a transgender inmate. You said, "I don't think it's a good use of taxpayer dollars."
Right.
Do you regret that?
Yep. No, it was a bad answer. And I think it was a bad answer. And I believe that everyone is entitled to medical care and medical care that they need. And that includes people who are transgender, who it is the time for them to have gender-affirming surgery. I just think that's important, and the appropriate medical care.
So a few years ago, she held the very logical and correct position that taxpayers shouldn't have to fund genital mutilation. Of course they shouldn't. That is not health care. That's not a treatment. Okay, a treatment, a medical treatment. It is a legitimate medical treatment when somebody has an illness or a disorder or a disease of some kind. And the treatment is the point of the treatment is to cure or treat or manage that disorder, illness, or disease. If you're a man and you have a functioning penis, that is not a disorder. That is not a disease. That is not an illness. That is exactly how it should be. Everything is in working order. You're good to go physically. So it cannot possibly be legitimate health care or medical treatment to mutilate a healthy, functioning part of your body. Obviously. Now, Elizabeth Warren has believed that her whole life until now. She changed her mind. Why? Well, she can't explain. Because her new position is completely ludicrous. It is completely without a scientific or moral foundation. She is pretending to have gone insane on this issue. And that's why it's so awkward to watch. And they all are. None of these people, these are all basically sane for the most part, basically intelligent adults. They understand biology. They understand. But they're pretending they don't. In fact, here's a question I'd love for someone to ask these candidates, though nobody will. But here's the question, very basic. Here's what you should ask them. When did you decide that men can have vaginas? And what prompted that change? Please explain that. Okay, you believed that men have penises your whole life. That's what you believed. Just recently, you decided otherwise. Why? Was there some sort of scientific breakthrough? Was there some sort of discovery that was, no? Okay, well then what was it? Did you slip and hit your head? Explain this shift in thinking. Talk about flip-flops. You've got these people, they that's a pretty significant flip-flop. They have flipped on human biology. they've decided 60 years into their lives, oh, you know what? Biology isn't a thing, it turns out. I think they should have to explain that. I would love to hear an explanation. Well, I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Matt Walsh Show. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right down there so you can stay up to date on all of our future content.